Bit of fuss down at the church the other day.
It's Thirsty Thursday. And that means we're once again hanging out at the Produce Stand, the podcast paying tribute to the great Canadian show Letterkenny. Now, I know what you're thinking. There are many other podcasts about Letterkenny out there, but this one comes chock full of MDMA, DMT, PCP, LSD, LED, and probably UFC. I'm Al, your host.
Well done.
And maybe even a little bit of KFC. I'm Al, your host, and joining me in the room, as always, is the lovely Tanya. And online, we have Squirrely Matt and the undeniable Victor. All right. Hold on. I've been waiting to do this too. There we go.
There you go. Oh, see, maybe I do need to slow it down. It's a little more passionate the way you open your can. Man.
Yeah, you got to wait also for some silence before doing it.
I think I get overexcited, and you embrace it. It works.
He's already got beer all over his table and his arm and his hand.
Well, I can't speak for that part.
In that drawer, there's
a sloppy mess over there.
You got him all excited.
I thought we were having such a good intro to the show, and already I've messed up. All right, so just want to welcome some new Twitter followers this week. We have Mike Bullock. Not the Canadian comedian Mike Bullock, but
yeah, that name sounds familiar.
No, unless he moved to Austin, Texas. Thank you, Mike, for following us. Miguel Rodriguez from Parts Unknown, Zelda_Sky from The Darkest Timeline, Joshua Burley from Pennsylvania, and JT from Michigan. Thank you guys for following us, and welcome, and hope you enjoy the show. All right, let's start with how your weeks have gone. Matt, we'll start with you. How was your week today? This week?
It's good. I had a snack pack this week. It was pretty exciting. My wife, snack pack pudding. It's something I hadn't had in a while. And, yeah. What'd you think?
I'm like, is that code for?
No, it's 100% true talk. Like, I'm talking about pudding.
A few weeks ago, it was flip flops, and now it's pudding.
Listen,
Matt, you are living
pleasures,
la vida loca.
Pleasures,
I thought you were talking about those those new packs that people are talking about. You get these packs from all around the world or whatever, and there's these little snacks and the things that are local to that area, and you get to try new and different things.
Yeah.
No, I'm talking about, if you ever seen Billy Madison, you know that scene when the nanny gets Billy Madison a giant case of snack pack and how excited he is? That was the equivalent of, I only got one pack, but that was the level of excitement.
Okay, you have to go into detail now. Did you do the butterscotch, the chocolate, the vanilla?
This one was chocolate. I don't do vanilla. Vanilla is just a waste of pudding. Butterscotch I dig. But
so do you do like dairy?
Chocolate's my jam.
Do you like your pudding like Derry likes his yogurt? I don't know if you noticed, but on the show he's almost always eating yogurt.
No, I didn't.
And tell the truth.
But sure. Let's go with sure.
When you get to the bottom of the cup, do you use your finger to scoop up the rest?
100%. And
these are important
I do like
details.
my yogurt like Derry likes his yogurt.
These are very important details. That's right.
There's yogurt in my fridge all the time. I'm the only one who eats it, so I eat it straight out of the jug or whatever it comes in, Tupperware container. I don't know what you call it, but that's the container it comes in.
Awesome.
I'd be concerned if you're eating yogurt out of a container or Tupperware.
It's kind of like throwaway Tupperware, isn't it?
It is, for sure.
Well, the bigger ones, sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Victor, how was your week?
Yeah, it was all right. Not too eventful. I've been collecting my Lego sets because I'm going to be selling them.
No.
Ooh, so I got a buyer.
Hold on. Whoa, wait a minute. We don't need any more Lego. I know, right? We're such
but these are those expert build Lego sets.
Yeah,
the ones that like with 4,000 pieces, and you have to build these.
Once you've built your model, you don't just like throw all the pieces all together into a big box like I do, like we do here.
And what makes it expert build? Is it just more pieces? Is it the same skill level, just more pieces, so it takes you longer?
Well, I guess after you pass a certain age, I think the skill level doesn't. It's not really.
This is how you justify doing Lego.
Yeah. But yeah,
expert level Lego.
No, I guess the difference is if you're ever walking by a Lego store, I don't know if they're letting you in yet, but there's like the difference between your typical Lego set and these ones is there's way more pieces because it's a lot more realistic. So they use more pieces to make the curves more accurate, and it's just
high commodity right now, Lego, with all the COVID. I'm telling you, they're on back order. If you can find it, that's Mastermind is super behind right now.
Can't get that.
And most of the sets that I have, you can't actually buy anymore. They've stopped production. So I had all these kind of visions of grandeur. I'd go and get as much as I've got so many that I just want to get rid of them. Get some of that money back and maybe buy another guitar.
Oh, well,
nice.
And now speaking of guitar, you had one out and you were gracing us with a little bit of playing. Did you already put it away?
No, it's here by my side, but maybe we'll kind of noodle around how we might use it so it doesn't seem so random. But
I was going to say,
it's sitting here by my side.
You could play us a little song right now if you wanted. Tanya, how was your week?
So I was off Monday, Tuesday, vacation days, and we took the kids out to the beach of all places. We found one that was open and navigated through various people that were on there. Some people had masks on.
Some people had masks in the water. It was weird.
That was a little, So we kept our distance and made a day of it. And it was quite nice to see the water and listen to the sounds and feel a little normal.
Yeah.
It's important to protect the sea life.
Mm-hmm.
So
good
on them for wearing the mask.
It was Georgian Bay, so no sea life there. Yeah, and Monday we had the contractor over looking at the basement. We had a Zoom call with the engineer because we needed to know whether we're allowed to remove a wall. And good news, it seems like we can, and the house won't fall on us. So
you lucky bastard. We have that problem only in reverse.
Oh, what do you mean? Oh,
we'd love to remove a wall, but we can't. The house will fall.
The house will fall.
But I mean, there's things.
There's always ways.
Yeah, there's ways. It just costs more.
Very expensive fucking ways.
I know. Believe
me. On the math, I can't afford a beam.
We were standing in the front yard looking up at the brick going, okay, so you can make a hole where and put the beams through and there would be a crane in the backyard if we did it that way. What's happening here? I just saw money flying out.
Yeah, Tanya was starting to
I'm in an older home too, and clearly the idea of open concept wasn't even a thing back then. So they never considered the possibility.
Well, shit, back then, married people slept in separate beds. So yeah, of course they want to have everything separate. Come on. All right. Well, let's see here.
Al, how was your week?
Pitter patter, let's get at her.
I already talked about my week. We're going to get at her now. All right, cool. Let's talk about, well, first of all, last week we reviewed season 1, episode 4, Wingman Wayne. That episode received a fresh rating from Matt, a clearance from myself, and a compost from Tanya and Victor. And yeah, you guys were really disappointed in that episode. So I'm hoping there's some redemption in today's episode.
Fucking embarrassing.
Fucking embarrassing. Yeah. So anyway, so today we're reviewing episode 5 of season 1, and it's called Rave. Rave, as in rave.
Sounded like you said something else.
Oh no.
Yeah, that was a little stutter there.
So we're starting with the cold opening. Wayne and Derry walk into the church. They find Pastor Glenn with no pants on account of the humidity.
Good Lord.
He invites the Hicks to do the same. That way, no one gets sticky. The Hicks decline. It appears Pastor Glenn has called on Wayne and Derry to help get rid of a rodent. Turns out there's a possum in the church. Wayne knows a lot about possums and doesn't like them one bit.
It's a possum.
Possum.
That's right.
Oh, pitter patter. Let's get at her.
Do you want to know what? I'd reach into a pirate hooker's chamber pot before I'd reach in there, and I'm going to tell you. Possums are immune to snake venom. They could probably survive a nuclear blast.
I think it's pronounced nuclear.
But it isn't. They're mutants. They have forked fucking penises.
We should all be so lucky.
They do this thing called playing possum where they appear dead and emit a death stink from their buttholes. Found one playing possum one time, thought it was dead and buried it. Dug itself out a few hours later and fucked a hen right in front of her chicks.
Glenn, think about the square job. You're putting so much money in.
Oh, fuck.
Derry is up to the task, but not before Pastor Glenn has another crack at getting him out of his jumper.
All right, let me take Peaksy.
Better powder.
Always had a skilled hand at wrangling vermin.
Thank you, Daryl. And that doesn't surprise me.
No sweat.
No sweat in this heat. That is rich. That's funny. Honestly, though, just take off your jumper. I'll hold it for you. You'll crawl up in there. No one gets dirty.
Glenn?
Yes.
Let's take about 20% off her up there, all right?
All right, and Derry finally goes in after the possum.
Oh, I see him.
That's some drunk evolution right there, bud.
You gotta wonder what two Christ-made miscreants made it to make that.
It's almost not worth thinking about.
Can I just reach for him?
That's a better idea than going in head first.
Put him where?
Under my boot.
Boys, just do your best not to make too big a mess, all right? And I am sorry again about all this heat. Woo!
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Ow.
And gets bit. And that's when the music starts. All right, so
okay, can we just start by saying the pastor needs to go to jail? Like too far with that man. Holy map! Like no.
So we took two different things from that scene. You took I took possum facts.
Yeah.
I'm like,
I agree.
I had to go fact check some of this, and actually, I mean, I'd heard of this whole playing dead thing before. What it turns out, though, is that possums are just big pussies, and they pass out. So they actually don't control this mechanism. They get really scared and they just pass out.
It's a fight or flight response. So it's involuntary.
Yeah, they pass right out.
I love that. That is so much easier than drugs.
Yeah. Well, I think humans do the same thing. Have you ever watched those YouTube videos of slingshot rides? And usually it's
and that's just G-force.
No, I think that's like passing out of sheer terror. That's what it is. Yeah. So initial impressions. So we have a thumbs down here for Pastor Glenn, again played by Letterkenny co-writer Jacob Tierney, award-winning co-writer Jacob Tierney. But may I add, Victor, what did you think?
He took his underwear off, people, and fanned himself with it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
not a reasonable thing to do.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, that's pretty much who he is, right? So it's just like with Gail, you can't just get upset each time you see this. You're going to have to either get used to it or get past it.
You two are still looking for character development in these guys.
Yeah, I think we've hit the ceiling with both of them. But do you think that Glenn is self-aware that he's gay, or
no? Absolutely, he does. I think he's unabashed about it. So it's another one of those instances where I think Letterkenny turns things on their ear. Like he knows it, everyone knows it, no one's hiding it. Like it's just out in the open. And that's it. And no one.
All right.
And people just tolerate him.
All right. Well, it will be interesting to see if he continues to, it seems like he's self-aware about it, but I don't know if he's ever actually publicly presenting himself that way.
No, I think he does. Anyway, and I love every time he says, "Oh my gourd." It's such a Canadian thing, like because.
Anyway, it was. I thought the whole opening act was pretty funny. Yeah. The pasture was just over the top. Like, dude, you've got your pants off, and you think it's normal. Yeah. And then the possum. Yeah, the possum. It's great. Yeah.
Matt?
I mean, can we take it as far? I mean, like he's a pastor that has a church. It's kind of like it's his house. I know I have no issue walking around pantless in my own house.
It's not his house. It's God's house. It's just a caretaker.
All right, I'm trying to find some understanding because I can get if it's a hot day, it's a hot day.
There's none there. All right, scene one after the music plays. Back at Wayne and Katy's kitchen. Wayne is sitting at the table with his dog in his lap, which isn't a lap dog, by the way, like a child. Derry is nursing his possum bite, which doesn't look too good. Wayne and Katy give him a hard time, STD style.
Is that a herpy on your hand, Daryl? Did you pay a little extra to go all the way with the Ripper in a back room again?
No, I don't think he'd make that mistake twice.
Got a little trouser trauma? Was she fun? Or was she fungal?
Hey, guess what? Guy's girlfriend's having a hard time parking the car, right? He says you should get tested. She says, well, no, I'm not so bad at driving. He says, no, I have chlamydia.
Is that a bite?
Guy takes a hooker out for supper. He gave her his peas. She gave him her peas.
So I've got a bit of a theory that Wayne's somewhere on the spectrum.
I love how he doesn't wait
so much more
anybody to
sense.
laugh. He just continues with the joke.
Yeah, 'cause he's oblivious and doesn't care. Like throughout this whole episode, poor Wayne's suffering, and he just keeps on going.
He's
like,
the guy in the corner that just keeps on.
Yeah, he
just keeps on going.
I feel like he's a bit on the spectrum. So anyway, Derry is not looking too good, and Katy starts getting concerned. She thinks he might have rabies, which attack the nervous system. Derry pukes all over the table, and Katy thinks he should go to the clinic. But Wayne can't take him because he has to do an ice run for a jamboree. Like that's more important than taking your best friend to a clinic. Katy's nutsack boyfriends are at an away game against the natives, so it falls on Katy to take Derry to the clinic. We also learned a bit more about the jamboree. It seems it was something that Wayne and his ex went to together.
Sure you're ready to saddle up the jamboree again? I mean, it was kind of you and Angie's thing.
No sense sitting on my hands. Time to find a new dance partner.
Time to find a new dance partner. So it looks like Wayne's finally over Angie, hopefully, and looking for somebody else. Just a quick note here. Absent, pretty noticeably absent is Squirrely Dan, and actually he's not in this episode at all.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Didn't catch that at all.
That did strike a note with me, and it may weigh in my overall rating of the episode.
No, yeah, because he's your favorite. He's your favorite, and he's not even in this episode. You've got nothing to look forward to. Although you didn't know this when you were watching it.
I didn't know this. Yeah, it was a terrible disappointment at the end, though.
Oh, I forgot to ask if everyone did their homework. Obviously, they did. But Matt, did you watch it today or like just before?
Matt's winging it right now.
He's winging it.
I'm watching it as we.
Oh, you're just staying just ahead of us. Yeah,
he's watching.
You're taking it clip by clip.
Yeah, I did that at a work meeting this week where they were like, "All right, did you review the pre-work we sent before the meeting?"
Dude, that's the story of my life right there.
I was like, yes, I did. I'm reading it as the meeting's going on. All right.
I'm like, but just can you just do a recap while we're at it?
Yeah. Scene number 2, the hockey players are outside the rink waiting on the bus to take them to their road game against the natives. They notice some players are missing and attribute it to the native flu.
Hey, wait a minute. We're missing 2 schmelts. Where's Dietzy and Bernsey?
Looks like a bad case of the native flu, bro.
What's the native flu?
You're an idiot. The natives are tough as hell, so another way to say someone is chicken shit to play them is to say they have the native flu. Mix in a fucking clue, potato chip.
All right.
I want to tackle that one.
Scene number 3. Wayne is at the dollar store getting ice for the jamboree. This is where we first meet Bonnie McMurray, played by Camila Cowell. Bonnie flirts with Wayne, but he's doing his best just to get the ice and scanned and not acknowledge her advances, probably because she's McMurray's younger sister.
Wayne.
Bonnie, how are you now?
Good, and you?
Not so bad.
This isn't all for you, is it?
It sure is.
Is it for the jamboree?
Oh, if we ever get it there.
See me dance?
Yep, sure.
Thank you. I've always wanted to dance with you, Wayne.
Oh, yeah?
We've all been watching you and Angie dance for so long, thinking, when's it going to be our turns?
Oh, yeah?
But trust me, watching was enough. You used to move her body around like it didn't weigh a feather.
I think I got about a baker's dozen here. I guess we could just scan them and then I'll get out of your hair.
Oh, yeah, I'll scan them.
Okay.
So take note there, Victor. We have another female character for you.
Yeah, I did take note of that.
And she's not crude?
And she's not crude. She's a little, quick, a little loose, but, potential there.
She's McMurray's younger daughter. So actually, which will lead to some comedy a little later. Scene 4, Katy carries Derry to the clinic. Stewart is sitting out on the clinic steps waiting for it to open, looking strung out. Katy gives him shit.
You're not a teenager anymore. It's not charming.
I used to charm you?
Wrong takeaway.
So good.
You could turn it around if you wanted to. I remember sneaking into your parties when I was 15, stealing your mixtapes. all your own music. I was really impressed. Guess those days are over, though.
So I noticed earlier on when you said wrong takeaway to Tanya, was that on purpose? or was the episode that fresh in your head because you just finished watching it?
Did I say that?
Yeah, you did. You said wrong takeaway when Tanya was talking about Pastor Glenn, and you were talking about, I think, the possum.
Oh,
the possum.
I think it just flowed off the tongue, man.
Wrong takeaway, or that wasn't my takeaway, something like that. Anyway, so we get some, I think some backstory there. What did you think? Let's start with Victor.
Yeah, I like it. It's almost like she's just trying to be kind to him, obviously, right? And so you kind of get to see that side of her, that she's trying to help him out and saying, hey, don't be such a screw up. You had potential. And I used to think you were, this and that. And then at the end, she throws him a bone, right? Where she says, well, I did whatever.
I did find you interesting or whatever. Yeah. Yeah, for sure. Well, there's some backstory there. Someone arrives to open the clinic, and Katy helps Derry to his feet, but not before admitting to Stewart that yes, he used to charm her. Next scene at the Ag Hall, the agricultural hall. Wayne is wheeling in the ice when he runs into McMurray. McMurray wants a word with Wayne. Please note this clip has been edited down due to awkwardness.
I want to talk to you about something important.
Okay.
My sister Bonnie's back in college, and she's a damn fine woman.
Oh, yeah, I just seen her down at the dollar store there.
I ain't sure it was her. I mean, last time I seen her, she was in kind of a DIY maxi dress, but she might have switched that up with a crochet pattern sweater on account of the breeze, maybe. Autumn foliage or Algonquin green.
Okay.
I think she'd be a damn fine match for you, Wayne. As if you're ready, because of Angie and all.
She's a lovely girl.
Whatever. Well, what happens if you were, you started, so you might finish it.
Oh, it's just, I say the space looks nice and clean. We've had the...
Well, it's running pretty good.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
All right.
Hey, let's carry on. Good box ice.
Yeah, good to see you. Everyone. Hey.
Hey, wait. Can you save her a dance now, hey, big boy?
It's good enough, McMurray.
Good boy.
So awkward.
So bad. Yeah. And it only gets worse.
Does McMurray not sound exact like Brad Pitt in Inglourious Bastards?
Possibly.
Little bit?
I was thinking more of that the mumbler in King of the Hill. What was his name?
Yeah.
Boomhauer, yeah. Speaking of Brad Pitt.
Maybe in later seasons, but not. He's getting there. He's still growing on his Boomhauer.
So speaking of Brad Pitt, he's actually a big Letterkenny fan.
Yeah, I can see that.
Maybe we can get him on the show.
Yeah. I'll get to work on
I heard you reported the news on some good news lately.
What's that?
Did you watch the trending thing by John Krasinski there for a while? He had some web show he was doing when COVID started called Some Good News.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I saw that.
Brad Pitt was one of the people he had doing the weather report.
Oh, really? Oh, so maybe he's available. Yeah, we could ask. Yeah, no, he was outside some awards show or something like that, and Ben Mulrooney was there interviewing people on the red carpet, and Brad Pitt came up to him and said, I just want to talk about Letterkenny. And Ben Mulrooney got all excited like a fangirl. Oh my God, he likes Letterkenny. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Great. Well, he might be between jobs, so give him a call.
Scene 6 at the Skids hideout. The Skids are cooking meth when Stewart storms in on a natural high.
I've had an epiphany. Can you taste this? No. Never again. Okay. Then can you snort it? No. I've given up on the meth business. I'm going back to the turntables. Back to the ones and twos. For what? To become a superstar DJ.
So there you go. It worked. Katy's kindness worked on Stewart. The Skids are perturbed, but Stewart is on a mission, and that mission is a rave.
I need you guys to tell everyone you know that I'm hosting a rave in Letterkenny, and I will be spinning under all of my aliases. How many aliases have you had? DJ Pimpy Longstockings, DJ Peter Blumpkin, DJ White Power Nap, DJ White Power Bottom. They'll all be there.
All of them. Okay, so you're quitting the meth business.
I've quit the meth business.
Well, how are you going to get people to come?
I'll post it on my fucking Facebook. And you guys will post it on your fucking Facebooks!
Notice the intense overreaction.
Yes. Well, he's coming down off meth. And of course, that only takes an afternoon, apparently.
Yeah, it's a lot of mishaps there.
Yeah. Next scene, back at the farm, Wayne is throwing hay when Katy approaches her in her usual unattire.
Wayne,
Christ, Katy, put some fucking clothes on.
not my forte.
Unfortunate.
Well, he's got his eyes closed too when she walks in. Like, you can't even look at her.
Yeah, and did you notice that while he was throwing hay, he seemed kind of I don't know, maybe frustrated or like taking out his frustrations or something. I think he's really, you know, looking for love and not finding it, except for McMurray's sister. Wayne seems to be blowing off some steam. That's exactly what I wrote. Their conversation is interrupted by a phone call from McMurray informing them that the jamboree has been canceled due to the fact that the AG Hall or Ag Hall has been booked by Stewart for a rave. This does not improve Wayne's mood.
And you greenlit that tomfuckery?
Had to. Agricultural Hall's low on funds. All-day bookings is a big boost for us, so I couldn't say no.
Agricultural halls are for agricultural music, not for fucking raves.
After hanging up on McMurray, Wayne gets a call from Derry asking to get picked up at the clinic, and he isn't sounding much better. Next scene, Wayne is parked in front of the clinic as Derry slowly and painfully walks up to the truck. Derry is not in good shape.
Derry, what's the fuss?
Good, and you?
Where are you going?
I don't know where I am.
Oh, look at your hand. What's the fuss?
I think I have rabies.
I'll boo fucking who, big shootsy wootsy.
But except you wanna know what?
What's that?
Having that possum was kind of a thrill. I think I could start a pest removal business.
Oh, Daryl, that's just silly. But except you wanna know what? I'm gonna help you. You know Stewart's having a rave at the Ag Hall?
Agricultural halls for agricultural music.
Not for fucking raves. That's what I said. So here's what we're gonna do, and I'm gonna tell you. We're gonna wrangle as many of those critters as possible and let them loose at Stewart's rave.
How do you get the word out about the business?
Oh, you'd have to put it on your fucking Facebook, likely.
Oh man. Yeah. So again, I mean, Wayne offers to help Derry, but not because Derry's sick or, you know, he's being a good friend. He wants to help him because he wants to sabotage the rave.
And he's clearly bounced back from whatever was going on, which clearly wasn't rabies, quite quickly.
The hockey players arrive at the Res rink. This is the next scene to play their game against the natives. We meet Tanis for the first time, played by the amazing Canyadio Horn. I was trying to get her name right. She's actually got a Twitter video where she tries to teach people how to say her name. She goes by Tio, but it's Canyadio Horn. She's the leader of the natives, and Tanis notices her team is short players, citing the native flu. But then she lets Riley and Jonesy in on some disturbing news.
Look at this bowl of fruit salad.
You want to taste, Tanis?
Ooh, better watch that bark there, boy. I might get bit. What's going on here? Looking a handful short. Got a bad case of the native flu or what?
You're drunk, mixing in water.
Well, it's either that or they're all tweaking out in that meth town you come from.
What did you say?
Everyone knows Letterkenny's gone to meth. You guys are a bunch of fucking basics. At least we keep it clean. We just sell cigarettes. Your town ain't nothing but a bunch of jacked up scab pickers.
Riley and Jonesy appear bothered by the revelation. Look, Victor, there's a female role number 2.
I know you're getting a double in this episode. It's incredible.
Yeah. And
not to mention these native cigarettes. I mean, I don't know if anyone's had, I've had multiple friends who gave up spending full price on name brand high quality cigarettes and shifted over to natives because they can get like 10 times the cigarettes for a third of the price. It's just, then they would drive all the way out to the reserves and all these other places and pick these things up. And I'd always watch my buddy come back with this big little Ziploc bag full of cigarettes.
And I know lots.
He'd tell me they were better for him and they were good and they were cheaper. I think that was the key part, was cheaper.
Yeah, and better is not.
It's a relative term.
That's irrelevant.
Yeah, no, I
cheaper.
Yeah, I knew a lot of people who would go to the reserve to buy cigarettes too cheap because they don't have to pay tax, right? So they get them really cheap, and then they take advantage. Scene number 10, back at the Skids hideout, Roll gives Devon some upsetting news.
Devin, we're missing $2,000. Really? It's a devastating blow to Energy Spa, I know. Hey, I'll call Stewart.
Hello? Stewart. Hey, Devin.
Hey, we're missing $2K?
Yeah, I took it for the rave.
$2K?
I don't think you understand. It's going to be a massive production. It's going to be like an Aurora Borealis themed Salvador Dali drug orgy with shamans.
But that's a lot of money.
No time, I gotta go.
So looks like the rest of the Skids are a little perturbed at their leader. Scene 11, Wayne and Derry are at Modine's on a critter call. Gail has a couple of skunks living behind the bar.
Would you not know skunks are immune to bee stings? They even teach their babies how to raid beehives.
And then?
Well, they burrow up for the winter and rip farts on each other to keep warm.
No way.
Oh, yeah. They go to mate as soon as they leave their mums. You know they're probably thinking about her during sex. That or their brothers and sisters, which is even more inappropriate.
Again, Tanya, guess what I did during this scene?
I think Gail was very well behaved in this scene.
I thought she was too. So where's your
I went and looked up facts. I went and looked up facts about skunks.
Come on, fact finding. What's going on with these skunks?
Yeah, Tanya did her. Tanya was cured of her Googling after the ostrich incident, so it's up to you, Matt.
Well, I had to keep up with her fun facts, and there's two interesting ones. A, their lovely smell is highly flammable.
Oh, really?
Which, I mean, that makes sense to me. SLC punk, it lines up with that. The other one I thought was interesting was and they must be closely related to deer, because the male go by a buck and a female goes by a doe, but they fell short with the baby, which is a kit.
Oh.
So, yeah, interesting fun facts for the day.
Thank you.
And do they rip shots on each other to keep warm?
Yeah, I imagine they do.
That's your opinion? What, is that your opinion, or is that some
it's full opinion. I don't come with any actual facts. 90% of what I say is 50% bullshit.
All right, so allegedly.
Allegedly.
All right, next scene. Back at the Skids' lair, the rest of the Skids, sans Stewart, meet about their current predicament. Devon. No, is it Devon? It's Devon. Leads the meeting.
Here's the deal. Stewart's Rave is eating up all our money, and the business is failing without his expertise. We simply aren't making enough coin selling the native cigarettes. We need the meth. I officially moved to boycott Stewart's Rave, take it off our fucking Facebooks, and sabotage it. All in favor, say aye.
So they're going to sabotage Stewart's Rave. So
why doesn't Stewart pick up that his friends have not come to support him at the rave?
Because he's a meth head.
But at the end, he comes back to them.
We're not at the end yet. Come on. Wait your turn. So interesting point there that you learned, though, along with selling meth, the Skids also make their money selling the native cigarettes. This becomes an important point in a later episode. Next scene, Stewart shows up to the farm to invite Katy to his rave. Wayne voices his disapproval.
Stewart! Fucking greasiest skid I ever seen. Chris Angel, mind freak looking motherfucker. What are you thinking holding a rave at the Ag Hall?
I'm thinking I'm doing the Agricultural Society a huge favor. You guys are going broke.
Tits up or not, it's inappropriate. Why not the Legion? Or even upstairs at the arena? Or the fucking youth center?
Because they're too small, Sir Tucker! Be prepared, because once this blows up, they'll probably ask me to do it quarterly. Bi-weekly.
We'll see if it blows up then.
And just a heads up, it is a rave, so there will probably be people on drugs, MDMA.
What? There's going to be MDMA at the Ag Hall?
Yes, there will be MDMA at my rave at the Ag Hall. There will be MDMA, DMT, PCP, LSD, LED, and probably UFC.
And maybe some KFC.
Can we just talk about the small town life for a while and how important things like the Ag Hall truly are to small town life?
Yeah.
Like, I've got relatives out east too. The annual tradition is to attend their exhibition at their local Ag Hall, where they all bring their horses, they bring their cows, they do some rodeo shit, and then they grow giant pumpkins and carrots and stuff, and then put prizes against them. This is a big deal in small town America and Canada.
Oh, for sure. In Bradford, for example, if there was a wedding or any kind of event, it was either held in a couple of different places. The Arena, which was mentioned in this, the Legion, which was also mentioned in this, and there is, I don't think it's an agricultural hall, but there is a Portuguese cultural center and a German hall. So yeah, there's just like those.
Yeah, and I don't even mean to make fun. Like, I've actually been genuinely curious. I would love to just go alongside some of these judges at these fairs and be like, how are you looking at it? Because you look at this wall of, like, say, cucumbers, and there's like 9 of them. And then one's got a first place ribbon on it. The other one's got a participation ribbon. They look the same fucking thing. What was so special
to an
about
untrained
that
eye? I mean,
that's my point.
Check for firmness.
That's my point. How do I know what a good? I mean, I'd love to. I like vegetables as much as the next guy, but how do I know I'm getting a first place one versus a thanks for showing up cucumber?
I was going to say good question, but it really isn't. I have no idea what you're talking about.
It's a damn good question, Al.
All right,
You're just too afraid to face it.
Yes. Scene 14 at the hockey rink. The hockey players are back from their game on the res. They're all battered and bruised from playing the natives, but that's not what has them upset.
Fucking Skids are turning Letterkenny into a gong show, buddy.
Fucking gonger, buddy.
I'm rattled about that meth trip, bro, team. Fucking Stewart, bro. Let's fucking tune that putt, hey, boys?
Put him away like winter coat, boys.
So they're angry at Stewart for turning Letterkenny into a meth town. Then Coach comes in to give him one of his patented pep talks.
What the fuck was that? That was garbage. That was fucking pedestrian. All this beacon is kiddie pool shit. Is that what you want? Riley? Jonesy? Huh? You want to get dropped off at the splash pad on the way home? Hey? Get your mom and dad to pick you up after your little swim? Don't run another deck, you fucking pheasants. Fuck! Bank skate tomorrow, 6 a.m. It's fucking embarrassing.
Oh, he's great. Mark Forward. Check out his comedy. He's pretty funny too. Scene 15 at the Egg Hall. Stewart is psyching himself up for the rave in the bathroom and makes his way to the stage. He comes out onto the stage and looks to see the crowd, and the only one at the Egg Hall is all the security he hired, Katy and Bonnie McMurray. Deflated, Stewart leaves the stage. Wayne enters with a bunch of cages filled with critters, but sees what's going on and leaves without going through with his plan. Scene 16.
There's a lot going on in that scene, man.
Yeah, it's a really good scene. I like it.
It's like, okay, Tanya, are you feeling depth now? Are we seeing another side of the Skids?
Yes.
You wrote them off in episode 1. Are they?
I did. Yeah. Yes, absolutely. Katy brought out a lot more depth in the character for sure for the Skids.
Did you feel bad for Stu?
Did I feel bad? Yeah, I did.
Mm-hmm.
I did. There was sadness there.
He didn't feel his support. He really wanted it. He was trying to make a change in his life, and he got let down.
Yeah.
It was a dark scene. But his outfit, what would you call that? Bowie? What the fuck was that?
That was...
See, but I'm kind of surprised. Sorry, go ahead with the Bowie thing.
No, I don't know. I have no idea what that was. That was Bowie times Liberace or something. I don't know. It was those.
I thought it was more Stardust.
Yeah, those eyelashes were crazy.
Right? It didn't feel rave. I mean, I haven't been to a rave, but it didn't feel what I would perceive to be rave.
So I just want to touch on how they panned out to the audience, and there was only Katy standing there.
Katy and Bonnie, yeah,
and Bonnie, and I was a little shocked that they didn't have some sort of interaction where Katy kind of did the pep talk thing again with him, seeing as though that kind of situation would have really disappointed him. Like, she kind of built him up. This was kind of, okay, the pinnacle moment, and then she just kind of turned around and walked out.
Well, there's probably nothing she could say to him at that moment. He was embarrassed. He was let down. He was, well, I mean, that's what's going to turn, well, we'll see what happens to him later.
Plus, I think in that moment, Katy doesn't actually have any insight in terms of why people didn't show up or anything like that.
Yeah,
so
that too. Yeah.
She's,
she was
in
there.
her eyes, she showed up.
Yeah, she was there to support him, and Bonnie was there, and no one else. Outside the egg hall, Wayne meets up with Derry, who's looking better. The hockey players show up ready to fight the Skids.
Where's Stewart, buddy? Where is he, bro?
Rave's canceled. Go home.
Bullshit, buddy. That's not what the poster says, buddy. I said it's fucking canceled. Now quit your hollering before I get cross.
Hey, when you give a warning, you don't repeat it.
Yeah. 7 of us and 2 of you. That's a good time for Donnybrook, boys.
Tilly time, boys.
What the fuck are you pheasants doing out here? It's 10 minutes to curfew. You think you can dog fuck all night and then dance? Dog fucking means no dancing. Get home. Fucking embarrassing.
I need that on a t-shirt, man. Dog fucking means no dance.
This isn't no Jinx, you owe me a coat.
Yeah, there's a nice little callback to the first scene of the first episode. McMurray calls Wayne to let him know that the rave was a bust, but his sister's there, and he tells Wayne to go after her, to give her the guts, to bang the very guts right out of her, and to just have at her, bud. Those are his exact words about his sister.
So bad.
I didn't pull the clip.
This is his sister or his daughter?
His sister.
Oh,
I didn't pull the
there's
clip.
no good answer to that question.
Because it was really muffled. You couldn't really make out what he was saying on the phone. So I thought I'd just write it out because I couldn't believe it myself. I had to look it up just to make sure. This makes Wayne very uncomfortable, and the Hicks leave the egg hall. All right, final scene. Back at the Skids' lair, Stewart arrives dejected and enraged. He sees his crew at the lair when they should have been at the rave, takes a big dose of some white powder, and makes his grand proclamation.
We are going to make Letterkenny the biggest meth town in the whole country.
I love Stewart.
So there we go. We've witnessed maybe the birth of a villain here.
See, and all he wanted was a little support. He was trying to turn his life around.
So again, why didn't he turn on his buddies then? They didn't support him. Why did he go back to support them?
I mean, I don't know. That's a good question. But I mean, he was obviously really embarrassed, and he...
Again, in that moment, I don't think he knew that he was backstabbed.
But his friends were supposed to put it on their Facebook, and he was putting it on his Facebook. You would have thought that at least the 4 of them, was there 4 in the room? 4 of them would have attended and been there. They were sitting on the couch when he arrived.
Yeah.
He was too traumatized at the moment to be thinking that way. He was still trying to figure out what's going on. I don't know. Like, I think you're giving them
too much thought again. Too much thought. Sorry.
Yeah.
They're meth heads, man.
They're meth heads.
They forgot that conversation when it ended.
They did look worried.
They are the armpit of Letterkenny, right? I mean,
no, the D-gens are, but yes.
In all fairness, he yelled at them, but they never once said, "We'll do it." They were kind of against this whole idea of him quitting meth. So
fair enough.
That wasn't hidden either in that conversation.
True.
Yeah. Did anyone check out the post-credit scene?
I did. I thought that was the best part of the episode, personally.
Did you?
God damn it! I gotta watch these.
Jonesy and Riley gives a lesson on the different shot techniques in hockey, but they're not very good. So it's kind of like a YouTube instructional video where they're talking about toe drags and snap shots and bar downs and faking up the 10D, which is goaltender, by the way, in case I didn't know whether Tanya was catching what they were saying, but then the camera turns to the actual net and they're missing every shot they're taking. and the poor rookies out in the field collecting the shots. It's
Rain Man.
It's pretty fun.
And then it ends with them just plunking him right in the head.
Yeah. So there you go. So that is episode 5, Rave. Let's do some first impressions. We'll start with Tanya. What did you think of the episode?
It was okay. It wasn't good. It wasn't bad. It just really sat there in the middle. There was nothing that really jumped out at me and was like, oh my gosh, no.
Really?
Like, I get the whole Skid thing. There was a lot of character, absolutely. Mm-hmm. There was some fun little bits, but nothing that was like, this was great. No, nothing.
All right. Victor, what about you?
Yeah, pretty much right in line with Tanya. I think that this was a complete opposite to Fart Book in terms of the Skids, right? Because they played a big role. For me, in the Fart Book, they shined. And then here, they kind of, for me, reiterated the fact, like, why are you?
Why are you?
I was just disappointed. I was disappointed that they were kind of the anchor of the episode, because if you don't count the post-credit scene, which for me was a winner, I hated the fact that it ended with them, where it's because it was so weird, like Stewart, almost like a cartoon character, because, you know, like all these characters, you kind of try and think, okay, yeah, you know what, this is exaggerated, but I can think of somebody who's like that. I met somebody who's like that. I can relate to that in some way. I've never met Skids. I don't know if these are made up people, if they exist in the world, but to me, they're just cartoon characters, and I just don't get it. For me, like, let that be like a backdrop. Don't try and make that your main story, because I don't think it's ever going to succeed. So I'm hoping as we progress, you know, with these episodes, they're going to get less front role actions, and you know, I'm not bothered if they're in the background dancing and stuff like that, but, you know, keep them out of the limelight.
All right, Matt, how about you?
Yeah. I mean, overall, I'm pretty aligned in this one. I didn't love it, but I didn't hate it either. There were definitely some good parts. The story was fine. I will say one part we didn't even talk. I laughed probably the hardest I've laughed in most episodes when fucking Stewart showed up and was talking to Katy on the porch there, and Wayne's interacting. When Wayne tells him to get lost and he starts throwing lawn chairs at him.
Lawn chairs.
I was crying like that. I don't know. I have a weird sense of humor. That
lawn
just
chairs.
killed me.
Yeah. Aluminum frame. Yeah. Light as
Not
air.
just one. He grabbed another one and chased after him. I was dying.
So Matt, the other reason this episode is kind of in the middle for me is I didn't laugh out loud very much at all. No. That was one scene I did laugh out loud. That was pretty darn funny. And at the end of the episode, Al touched on this. I was feeling sad and mystified a little bit as to, you know, where's Squirrely Dan? Did he get bit by the possum and he's, you know, in a back alley somewhere rolling around and nobody knows?
They didn't even reference
for Squirrely Dan.
Yeah, they didn't reference him at all, or the ostrich.
You sound disappointed we didn't hear about the ostrich.
We're going to learn more, we hope. We'll do our own thing. We'll do a whole ostrich podcast.
So there was one redeeming scene, and that was with Gail, where, you know, there's two things. Number one, it was her most subdued.
Agreed.
She wasn't drunk. That's one. And two, she was trying to get sober. So there you go. I don't know how long that's going to last, but there's something positive. So I just thought I'd throw that out there for her.
All right. So my impression of this episode, let's see. It's definitely the one with the fewest kind of jokes with laughs, but I think it's probably one with the most story in it so far of these first few episodes.
Yeah.
I mean, say what you will about the Skids. I really liked the development there and kind of the insight into at least Stewart and that possible kind of past he's had with Katy. You can tell all of these guys have gone to, you know, went to school together, were raised together. They know each other well enough just because they've taken different routes. They know each other. I really liked the whole, the scene where Stewart's at the Rave and he's embarrassed and he's turning away. When Wayne comes in with those animal cages and sees what's happened, he does not feel the need to pile on. And in fact, what he does is he defends Stewart to the hockey players. I thought that was great. Like, the hockey players wanted to beat the shit out of the Skids, and Wayne's like, no, he's had enough. Leave him the fuck alone, or you're gonna have to fight me.
Well, Jay, he's the protector, man.
Absolutely. I think that's great. And he's protecting Stewart. Like, I really like that aspect of this episode. So yeah, fewer laughs, but I think there was a lot of story there. So I'm a little surprised, actually, especially from Victor and Tanya, who were like crying for story and crying for character development. There was a lot of character development here. Katy, she wasn't like the slutty Katy that we've known. She was taking care of Derry, taking him to the clinic. She was giving Stewart shit for being, a drug addict and giving him some hope and giving him some advice. I mean, to me, there was a lot of.
It was a regular 90210 episode
for sure, but you know what? There was a ton of story there, and I think the story was actually in place of the laughs because I think there were fewer jokes in this. I mean, especially if you don't like the Pastor Glenn character, I thought that opening scene was hilarious.
It's so good.
And if nothing the Skids do amuses you, then yeah, the laughs are fewer and far between. Oh, and McMurray and his inappropriate comments about his sister, I thought were kind of funny. But
I like McMurray. I thought he was a fun character, though. Again, I kept picturing Brad Stewart and Glorious Bastards when he was talking. But yeah, it was good. I kind of thought it was funny that they were able to collect all those possums and with such ease. They just showed up with those possums. And that wasn't even part of the story.
Possums and skunks. Well, because Derry had started a business, and of course they put it on their fucking Facebook. So right away he got business. Like that's the other thing that's hilarious about this. All you have to do to advertise anything you do is put it on your fucking Facebook.
I thought for sure they were going to say Fart Book at the beginning, but no, they went to Facebook. So there you go.
Yeah. All right, so let's start with the ratings. So I'm gonna. I made an executive decision after last week. I know we'd kind of agreed to do top 3, but I want to pay homage to High Fidelity. So we're gonna do top 5s instead, just because. Oh, wow. Like once we get into like 8 seasons worth or whatever, having only 3 episodes, I feel like it doesn't give enough insight to what we like. So I think a top 5 will be a little bit better. So having said that, I'm going to start with who did I start with the comments? Tanya, so right now, number 1, you have Fart Book, Super Soft Birthday, and number 2, Ain't No Reason to Get Excited, number 3, and Wingman Wayne was 4. Where would you rate this one?
And so sorry, you just triggered my brain there. Super Soft Birthday. How does Wayne, do the Super Soft Birthday, yet doesn't take his buddy to the clinic when he has a bite on his hand? I just want to point that out too.
I mean, I think Wayne is on the spectrum. I think that Wayne
has layers. There's lots of layers.
Layers or maybe lack of layers.
All right. So this one, again, I'd give it an okay. So since we don't, it would be right smack dab in the middle of compost and clearance.
Oh yeah, we got to do ratings first. So between compost and, really, you would give this a compost?
No, see, it wasn't bad, but it wasn't great.
You just make up new areas too.
It's clearance, but it's clearance, but it's expiring at 8 p.m. So it's like,
hey, hold on. We're
clearance minus.
We're with Tanya first.
It didn't make it, just like Victor. It didn't make me laugh out loud.
Oh, and the other thing, we got 2 new female characters, and none of them are like overtly like dirty like Gail or.
I'm with you, man. I mean, this episode, from my perspective, gave you 2 idiots everything you've been looking for.
Yeah.
And you're still giving it a clearance. You wanted depth. You wanted story. You wanted a little bit of versatility.
Strong female characters. Yeah. Anyway, we're still with Tanya's rating. So
your bar is way too low, my friend.
Clearance or compost?
I'm gonna give it a clearance.
Don't let us influence
not
you.
that I'm being pushed around. So no, I would give it a clearance, just because I do like again, I like Wayne's character. I like how he stood up for the Skids at the end. I like Katy's character on this one. I like there was a few things that I liked, but it didn't wow me. There was nothing that was like, yeah.
All right. Yeah. Victor, what rating would you give it?
Yeah, well, I mean, to make you guys feel better, for all the reasons that you have said, both you and your little buddy there, is I'm giving it a clearance instead of a compost because of all of those reasons.
Oh, okay.
Because had those things not happened, the fact that they anchored the episode on the Skids here and they finished their big, finale as Stewart, with his evil laugh saying,
we saw the birth of a villain. I mean, he's a villain.
Yeah,
now.
birth of a villain. But is that what the show is about? So yeah, I mean, just for that, I'm giving it a low clearance. I feel like it's important to hope for more, hope for better, hope for more laughs, and Squirrely Dan. There's no way I'm giving a fresh rating to an episode without Squirrely Dan. It's just not happening.
Maybe Kate Trevor Wilson was on tour or whatever during this episode.
Maybe. Well, so there you go. So I didn't hate the episode. I thought it was totally watchable. I enjoyed it. There's aspects of it I enjoyed a lot. And best post-credit scene ever. So so far out of the 5 episodes. So for me, that's the rating, and leaving room for improvement.
Sounds good. Matt, what do you give this one?
Yeah, it's an easy clearance on this one.
What? After all that talk, you're only going clearance? What the
You don't know me. You don't know what I'm digging. So here's the thing. So
You just talked me out of a compost.
Yeah, which again, we also disagreed on Fart Book. So you have it number 1. I think I have it last. So we're not on the same spectrum here.
But we can agree that we're on the spectrum.
Yeah.
There is a spectrum, yes. But it's all in. I mean, I agree. I like the story. It kept me interested. I'm gonna watch this. But at the end of the day, where it kept me from going to a fresh was the comedy. This is a comedy. I want to laugh my ass off. If I'm not doing that, you're telling me a good story. It's just a drama.
Yeah.
But there was a couple of really funny moments as well. So if there was some more laughs or was a little more edgy in a few parts, I think it would have pushed me to the fresh, but I'm going to put it at a clearance.
All right. That's good. I'm going to also give it a clearance. And
oh, wow.
Yeah. I mean, again, they sacrificed the laughs for story. I thought the story was good. And I really enjoyed some of the character development. But for any episode of Letterkenny to get a fresh, it's got to have equal parts story and laughs. And this one didn't quite get there with the laughs. Maybe I'm on Victor's page when it comes to no Squirrely Dan. It loses something without Squirrely Dan there. So I'm giving it a clearance, but a high, a strong clearance. It just got on the clearance rack, so it's still got a good few days before it goes bad. All right, so let's.
If I was them, Al, I'd at the very least, I'd have a cardboard cutout of him somewhere in the background, and not reference it, just have it there.
Right, yeah, just kind of, that'd be funny. All right, so we'll go to our rankings now. So yes, Tanya, you've got Fart Book 1, Super Soft Birthday, Ain't No Reason to Get Excited, and Wingman Wayne. Where would you put Rave?
I still oh dear. I think at the bottom.
Really? Below Wingman Wayne?
Which I know I gave that one a compost.
Yeah.
But
God, how is...
There's no right or wrong answer. These are her ratings, Matt.
You are wrong.
Oh, goodness. Okay, let's stick it in 3 and bump the other one off.
All right. You've cooled me a bit, so we're good.
There we go.
So, all right. So it's going to, well, you mean 4 and book Wingman down?
Sure.
All right. That makes sense. All right. Victor.
That makes sense.
Where are you going to put this one in your top 5? Right now you have Fart Book 1, Super
Victor.
Soft Birthday 2, Ain't No Reason to Get Excited 3, and Wingman Wayne 4.
Yeah, no, I mean, this one's easy, right? This is the 5th episode, so it's easy to stick it in right above Wingman.
Wingman, so you're also number 4. All right, great. Matt.
Did you guys even watch Wingman? Fuck.
It was a horrible episode.
Oh, man, it's number 2 for Matt. So number 1 for Matt.
There really is a line in this group.
There is.
Go ahead, Al.
Super Soft Birthday 1, Wingman Wayne 2, Ain't No Reason to Get Excited 3, aka the pilot, and Fart Book 4. Where do you put Rave?
Okay, can I make an adjustment to a previous rating just because I'm angered. And I have to do it because I just don't fucking get it. So Fartbuck, I think I had a clearance on that one. Can you shift that to a compost and then put that number 5 and then put this little nugget we just watched at number 4, please?
You can't change. No. I veto that.
It's his top 5. He can do whatever he wants.
You can't change Fartbook to a. You already had it as a compost.
Our rules. We can do whatever the fuck we want.
And it's no problem adjusting. I mean, I get it.
That was your rating at the time.
You know what? I have
dwelled on it. I've really
fresh.
given it a lot.
Yeah.
This isn't just a rash decision. I've been thinking about this.
These are important important decisions to make. I actually second guess one of my ratings too, but I won't talk about that right now. So
this will go in the compost later.
This is your 4th. No. I really enjoyed this episode. And here's the thing.
I mean for me.
After watching this episode, I thought, oh my God, finally something Victor and Tanya are going to enjoy. So this is really disappointing to hear your ratings on this, because after watching this, I'm like, oh, they're going to love this one. And no,
really?
Yeah, because everything
you're missing the point. All the little things that you thought were going to lead us to enjoying the episode. Yeah. You're not wrong. We enjoyed those things. The problem is it doesn't save the episode. The episode itself is anchored on these stupid skids, which
it's just as you said, though. It needs balance.
All right.
It needs balance. It needs balance.
Yeah.
It's just as
when we finally get a fresh rating out of you guys.
You got a fresh. You got a fresh Fartbook.
They gave Fartbook a fresh rating. Matt, come on, get with it.
I blanked that one out.
I know.
When we get actual legitimate fresh, then we can compare, and then we can figure what the hell they like.
Yeah, exactly.
Al, you should work hard and get a special sound effect ready for that one day, sometime in a far future, where all 4 of us agree on a fresh rating.
Okay. I do have a good sound effect for Victor and Tanya right now for their ratings.
They give your balls a tug, you tit fucker. Shorzy.
Now, if you're looking for a sound effect for all 4 of us having the same fresh rating, you got time. Don't worry.
Here's another one for you.
You are spare parts, aren't you, bud?
I think that's better. Yeah, you are spare parts. All right, my rating. So I got super soft birthday number 1. Ain't no reason to get excited number 2. I'm actually going to slide this one in number 3. I enjoyed this one more than Wingman Wayne, and way more than Fartbook. And
Matt,
the rating that I'm probably going to change is Fartbook, and I'm going to probably give that one a compost.
Come on.
But
Matt paid him off.
No, because I just like Matt, I kind of regretted the rating. I think I gave it a clearance, and it should have been a compost.
And I think I only got sucked in by the first 5 minutes of it, and then after reflection, I'm like, no.
Squirrely Dan, best performance
it doesn't make
today.
But it's not even his performance.
Oh, okay. Again, we fucked that pig 2 weeks ago.
Trombone.
All right, let's read some listener comments off the Twitter machine here. At Produce Stand Pod, loving the pod so far. There aren't many people in my world who've even heard of Letterkenny. It's really cool to sit in on a conversation about the show. Keep up the good work. This is from Anthony Pacheco. He's my Portuguese buddy from California there. Thank you, Anthony, for the comment and for listening. Crazy Talk Al, that's Allison. She said, hey, Brendan LaSalle, didn't hear we got mentioned on the Produce Stand. I mean, if anyone has a problem with this podcast, they got a problem with me and Brendan. And we suggest you people marinate on that Ferda. So that's from Allison. And then Brendan, her buddy, responds saying, can confirm, and he unbuttons his cuffs, ready to fight. Another one here from our buddy, or a couple from our buddy Jason Cutler. You guys are Canadian and talk about the show from that perspective, and that's what I appreciate about you. I'm definitely going to keep listening. I like the way Al breaks it down by each scene, and it's fun to listen to you guys try to figure out. Vic, cut Gaylor a break. That's from Jason. And Miriam, she just... Oh, go ahead.
I cut her a break this episode. There you go.
Yeah. Miriam, she just posted a picture of the Letterkenny season 4 and 5 that she got from the library, just to show us that yes, you can get them at the library. Anthony from California again said, I appreciates the shout out. That's the Texas size 10-4 on the pork chop. I assume you're referring to me being Portuguese. Never heard that one though. Usually portagee, pork and cheese, or pork and beans. Yes, Anthony, I've heard all of those, but here I like to call myself a pork chop, so that's what we are. And then lastly, Allison again, just thought I'd let you kids at the produce stand know that I appreciate the weird, awkward, pseudo-sexy vibe of the creature known as Gail. With her, both sides benefit. And that's from that's from Allison. So there's a lot of Gail love.
Yeah, and I have to say, I make a lot of comments here and there, and I've been questioning myself now where I rank on the Gale scale.
What do you mean in terms of like the inappropriate things you say?
Inappropriate things that I say.
Yeah, well, I don't know, but
you had an ice cream the other day, and I was asking you for the tip, and then I thought, shit, is that you? Is that Gale?
Yeah,
I'm like, no, I didn't ask you to stick it anywhere, so that's where that level is.
So there you go.
So deep down, you appreciate her.
I'm not. No comment.
You're more like a squirrely Dan than a Gail.
All right. So, any final closing remarks, Tanya? We'll start with you. No, as you're taking a sip of wine.
Nope.
No. All right, Victor.
Yeah, I thought this episode was a cleanser. So it cleansed the bad taste out and kind of gave us a fresh start. So looking forward to next episode.
Yeah, next episode is the season finale. So that'll be interesting to see where it lands. It's called A Fuss in the Backbush. Matt, you have any final comments?
So I vow to watch the end credit this next time, and I'm hoping to continue to watch the right episode. That's my biggest fear is I'm going to enter this podcast one week and I watched the wrong episode. So I'm gonna keep up.
All right, good.
I have a question to you guys that have gone beyond us.
Mm-hmm.
Do we ever meet Wayne's ex?
Yes.
Oh, we do.
Cool.
Okay.
I think, yeah.
I did actually remember that.
Yeah.
Did we ever meet the ostrich?
Or the ostrich fucker.
Well, we do meet him. Yes, we do meet them.
Ginger.
All right. Yeah. All right. My final comments is I'm really disappointed. I thought like watching this episode, I'm like, oh my God, great. Finally, we have like female leads, backstory. Gail was behaving herself, like all the things that you guys were asking for, and you still, didn't like it. So
you guys are an enigma.
It's an uphill battle, Matt. It's an uphill battle.
I
can't wait for the day.
Fresh.
Yeah. I can't wait to get another fresh non-fart related rating from YouTube.
Yeah.
All right. So I'm going to play us out here with a song from the episode called Such Language by DJ Donna Summer. There was a lot of electronic music in this one. So, but this one, well, it was all very catchy stuff. Let me bring it up a bit. And that's all we have for this episode. Next week, we'll recap episode 6 from season 1, The Fuss in the Backbush. Please rate us on iTunes if you like the show. Follow us on Twitter at ProduceStandPod. We also invite you to visit the website, theproducestandpod.com, for other episode recaps, a list of favorite episodes, and to email us.
I'm a big girl now.
Thanks for joining us. Now we're off to the res to buy some cheap cigarettes. From all of us at the Produce Stand, good night.